Shared some power to show no.
Good morning, everybody. So we'll intertwine IG over on this bad boy as well. Hi, guys. I think we did. I think so. What's up, everybody? Here you go, Jeffrey.
What is going on with this?
What's up, guys? India in the house. Love it. Namaste. Namaste. Yep. Mr. Sliced. Mr. Slicedy Diced. Kyle, what's happening, my man? How you guys doing? Hello, everybody. How's this week's training going? What'd you guys crush today?
Big India.
A lot of India in the house today. How you guys doing with your nutrition? You guys over there in India? Love to hear some of your guys' take. Hello, hello. I got some good clients that are from India, and man, we got to load them up on some calories just to make sure we get that amount of protein in there and the carbs. But their bodies working. It's getting stronger. They're getting bigger. So, kind of shows you. It's good, man. It's good. I feel like for me, this last workout was kind of like my max out, my PR week, right? And usually before a PR week, you take a week off prior to the lifts, you know. So like if you're getting ready for a powerlifting meet, you really don't train 6-7 days before that meet. Let the body recover. So great leg day for me. And the body felt it afterwards. So it's a good time for me to use those numbers, because I didn't just get the lift I wanted. I did it for a double. So that was nice too. So it wasn't just I maxed out, but I played with it. And it felt like a joke. And that's another thing. I think what I like about filming is that it may feel one way and look a different way.
Mm-hmm.
And this all of it worked. And it's not always that way. You guys will find when you do this, sometimes it feels heavy, but it moves fast. Sometimes it feels light and moves slow. And the visual of it's always different. But this one felt heavy. It didn't feel heavy. Felt light, looked healthy, and smashed it. So I set a new PR. And now I'll probably restart power bodybuilding. That's the game plan. But I will I took yesterday and today off from training. So I finally got those days off, right?
Why do you have to restart instead of just continuing to go up, 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 up? Or does it not work like that?
Like it can work like that. I can go back, but I peaked. So there's a couple of factors. The point of training is to do as least amount of work, but still get better. It's not about always setting new PRs, because then you're just that's going to set you up for a decline. So I set a new PR. Great. So let me restart now, let that body recover, because it did tax me quite a bit to where one day off would not suit the recovery. I would need a couple days off to recoup that recovery, because I went over and above. Let me just make sure that I'm totally recovered, and then start over, because I already set that PR. So let me just go, okay, let me back to my 70% on power bodybuilding. Let me pick some new numbers and start the journey over. So that's my game plan. Now, obviously, if you're doing power bodybuilding, you can keep going. But if you're just freaking just dominating the workouts and you're doing crazy good lifts, and maybe you just didn't pick the right number. And for me, picking the right number this time was a twofold, because I needed my nervous system to catch up. And because I dieted down so much, I had to allow that time to not rush it. And so I just give it those 12 weeks, but my body recovered quicker than that. So that was a nice plus. A nice plus for me today.
It's a good John question right there.
We'll leave it there for Johnny.
Yeah, leave that one for Johnny. Does cold meat work on occasion or not? You mean like lunch meat? Sliced turkey and whatnot?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to be the diehard guy that says that you have to have the organic, high quality Sprouts meat or whatever they do. Like when I did I did a YouTube with a buddy of mine, and everybody has their, I need to make sure it's organic, grass fed kind of. I think the guy that's just consistent at 70% is going to outlast the other people, because life doesn't work that way always. So yeah, I'm okay with the cold meat sometime. At least you're getting it in, which most people would go, Guess who we got hanging backstage? Let me bring this man out, the man, the myth, Big Johnny.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Man, we are doing it, my friend. I know you're going to destroy this question. Talk to me.
Let me shut that door for me. Oh, yeah.
We brought you on a good one, because I know that you are a food snob. You're like Mona.
I don't know. I'm just a picky eater.
It's okay to be a food snob. Well, that was one of the things Mona told me when we started dating.
Yeah.
I picked the restaurants. Okay. All right. So the question here is cold meat.
I don't got a problem with it. You want to eat cold meat, you can eat cold meat. I mean, an example for what I do, like there's this place and it's called Gateway Subs. I'll have them make me like 2 full, like 12-inch, like grilled chicken just with the bun. And like, I'll like take that out. Like, let's say Peter has a baseball game. I'll get there at like 5 o'clock. I'm going to the baseball game. It's like 7:30. It's in my cooler. It's not hot. but I'll eat it and it tastes good. It's not bad, by any means. So if you can stand eating the cold meat, I know people that eat cold fish, which I probably wouldn't do that. But cold chicken or something of that aspect, if you can eat it, there's no problem there. I mean,
I think
the problem is a lot of people overcook their foods too as well. And when you overcook it, you can get rid of nutrients. So, don't overcook it. And if it's already cooked, you got to make sure that you're heating it up so it's a little warm, but not overcooking it too as well to get rid of the good stuff.
I think you're thinking like me, and Jeffrey kind of said maybe what this guy meant is lunch meat.
Oh. Mm.
So
Listen,
same question.
I like lunch meat. They say there's a ton of carcinogenics in lunch meat. I try to get the best lunch meat there is. Does lunch meat work on occasion? Absolutely. If that's the better, food source, it's better than eating a McDonald's hamburger, I think, in most cases. If you get like boar's head, which is like a super high end type of lunch meat, I think that, like the turkey aspect of things, or maybe the grilled, like they have like a chicken that's like a grilled chicken type thing, low sodium. I think if you get something like that, I think it would be good. I don't think I would eat it all the time, but I remember making some good gains off eating, like back in the day. I would like work at the YMCA as a trainer when I was like 21, and I would go get 2 foot long subs because budget was a thing then, and I would get them for $5 a piece. So I eat one of those things at the start of my shift, and then one of the things in the middle of my shift, and then I'd go train, and then at that point I'd leave and go home and have another meal. So, hey, listen, you do what you got to do. I don't think it's the worst thing out there to eat, but I don't think it's the best thing.
Hey, check IG on this. I'm so old. I used to have bologna. You guys remember bologna?
Dude, yes.
Bologna sandwiches
Yes.
on Wonder Bread, mustard, and bologna.
You're talking about like when I went to school, like in elementary school, that's all my mom would make me. Bologna with mustard and ketchup and white bread. It's okay, but if you get it every single day, and I'm a person that can eat something every single day, but I just couldn't. I used to throw it away a lot of times, man, because I couldn't eat the bologna anymore. And now I would never eat bologna in a million years. But I do remember eating the bologna sandwiches with mustard and ketchup and on white bread.
Oh, there we go. There we
That's
go.
the ghetto McDonald's hamburger, man.
Yeah. I like. The Clen?
This one.
Ooh. Yes, definitely. So, what would you recommend besides clenbuterol to help boost fat burning and cardio? There's a couple things I would do instead of clenbuterol. One, if you were really set on doing an albuterol, I would do albuterol. Like if you want to do something like that, and that's something that can cause fat burning, open up the capillaries in the lungs and stuff like that, but can also increase heart rate. But what would I do that's better than both of those? And that's where we start looking at peptides. We start looking at like GLP-3s, right? Like Retta, like you're really going to burn some fat, some body fat, and really optimize the way that your body's working internally, right? So that's a one. MOTS-c, which is our therapy of the week this week. That one is, they say exercise in a bottle, but what it really does is it improves metabolic health. It raises your metabolic rate, and at that point, you're burning. Your body thinks it's exercising and burning like that. So that's another more natural route to go besides clenbuterol. The issue with clenbuterol is this. You build up a tolerance super, super quick to clenbuterol. It's something you have to titrate up with. And at that point, this could wreck your nervous system. So it's just really not worth it. When there's better options on the table that are more safer and healthier to do, then those are the options we really want to go with. And boosting fat burning, I mean, ECA Stack Plus, I think works almost as good as clenbuterol does. Okay, like that's something I wouldn't mess with. But if I was really going to get something that was the best of the best, I think retatrutide would probably be your best bet there. And then I would probably mix that with a GHRH like testosterone, and I think you're gonna destroy body fat, destroy visceral belly fat, keep your muscle gains, and then you're just gonna keep moving, and your body's just gonna keep moving. If you really want to throw MOTS-c in there, that's another one that I would do. It's a triple threat, and you're working all different kind of mechanisms in there for your body just to get amazing results and be in the best possible position to get any kind of gains you're going to be in.
For me on the Clem, I know that I've talked to a lot of these guys that are competitors, and they still do that old 80s, 90s clenbuterol with the T3.
There's no way. There's no way I would mess with my thyroid, messing with T3 medications. and then I wouldn't take clenbuterol. I mean, like I said, 80s and 90s, less options on the table. There's less tools. You work with what you got.
Oh, I
Now,
meant these guys still do that.
no, I know that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But what
So
I'm saying is the 80s and the 90s, when those guys were using those things, that's all the tools they had. Now we're in an advancement period. Now it's a new generation. There's more things on the table to use and better ways to use them. So at that point, if people are still following protocols from back in the 80s and 90s, I mean, at that point, if you want to go back to the 80s and 90s, get off computers. Go get a typewriter. You know, those work too, right? You can type a mail and you can send it in the mail and send it to somebody, but that's going to work a hell of a lot. A negative effect in your favor is going to take a hell of a lot longer to do. You got to go through more of a process to do. It's easier to just get on a computer, write an email, and just send it. It's automatically in somebody's inbox. So think about it like that. If you really want to use technology or protocols that were used back then, yes, some things are still better that may have been conceived before, but not in most cases, right? So that's what you got to look at. So if you have better options on the table that are safer for you, that's definitely the way to go. Why go back to something that was prehistoric at this point? I mean, if you want to talk about 80s and 90s, you're talking about what, 40, 50 years almost.
So yeah, I agree. So the clem, and I understand these guys at this level today doing the clem and the T3, but that's, again, for me, that's the most pinnacle level of fitness or bodybuilding, not even fitness. Let me just say it's that. And so my recommendation is, okay, I don't think you need that extreme with the side effects from it. And that's why I think that what John was talking about with the peptides is a great thing to do to cut up without the side effects of everything else. And so it's surprising to me that these guys are still doing that and playing with themselves to that level of risk. But again, I fully understand. I was there. I competed, won this universe. I understand that if this is 1% better, do it. I don't agree, because in life, you're going to want the long journey. And Moxie, I mean, that's I feel like that's still cheating. It's great. It's like, my gosh, what an amazing thing for the person that is not a diehard. It's like, wow, this helps burn body fat without exercising. And then you add in the other things to help burn the body fat on top of it. Whoa. I think you're winning.
If you really want the stimulant effect, because it does give you the stimulant effect, right? Like, I've taken clenbuterol before, so I know exactly how it works. And at that point, like, you feel like you're like shaky. I mean, I would do an ECA on top of that. You won't be shaky, but you'll have a lot of good, clean energy. So if that's what you're looking for too, because some guys use it for different purposes. Obviously, it's for fat burning, but they like the way that stimulant feels. So if they're looking for that, they can add that in too, and it still will be a lot healthier for them and probably give them a better result.
Have a cup of coffee or something. Throw a couple of those in. You're fine. Yeah. So there's a lot better options.
Yeah.
I guess at the end of the day, if you can look great for you, and it's 1% lower than Mr. Olympia's physique, I think that's a win. I think that's a win, guys. I don't think you need to go extreme. And that's also one thing I say is, stop asking the gym guy who looks great what his dose is and stuff. It's like, wow, use some sense on that. Give me another one, Jeffrey.
Yeah. And I like this question because of the end statement right here. If you could address that.
Where does one find Retta for research purposes? Well, Type Medical Center has Retta, and not for research purposes. It comes from a real U.S. licensed pharmacy, a 503A compounding pharmacy. So if you're looking for Retatrutide, Type Medical Center services nationwide. You guys can call or text us, 727-389-3220. We'll be able to help you out. We have plenty of patients on Retta and get amazing results. I mean, that is definitely a dominant GLP for sure.
What is it? 70% of HRT companies now. That's the. It's 7. Is it? Do you know what the number is on that, John?
On what?
The majority of
The majority of the business right now
GLPs.
is the GLPs, 70%.
Wow, that's a pretty high percentage.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
we have a high percentage of GLP users for sure, 1,000,000%, but it's not that high. I would say 30%. 30% of the customers, maybe Retta and all that. But the other peptides, don't slack on them because there's a lot of business in peptides in general, and not just GLPs. But HRT is still dominant. It's just there's a lot more places out there that offer it probably, and the market share is probably dwindled in some people's businesses. I see that, and then a lot of people focused on the GLPs because of the price point and what they can make off of it. They knew that if they sold it for a discounted price, you could probably sell a hell of a lot more than somebody's going to go buy it from Novo Nordisk or from one of those physicians out there that are $1,500. So I mean, yeah, I could definitely see the business there because GLPs they've came and evolutionized the way that people get healthy to a certain extent by getting in the weight loss factor and improving their lab markers like their vital organs, heart health, kidney health, liver health, and so on. So there's definitely a dramatic increase, and I don't see that going down. I see it going up. I see that more people than ever will start on GLPs and stay on GLPs. And as the evolution of GLPs goes, the next GLP will be a GLP-4, and it will have everything that Reddit has, but then it will have IGF-1 in it. That's the next step in the evolution. And that is going to be a game changer because we already know how IGF-1 works. IGF-1 is what growth hormone converts into the liver. And that's what gives you all the benefits of anti-aging and all the benefits of growth hormone. So if you can keep that, you're going to get rid of muscle wasting. People are going to be able to put on lean mass, and they're going to be able to shut up even more. Think about that.
I was thinking, and you guys let me know too, you got a view in there. Is the percentage so high because HRT companies may have been thought of before or assumed of before as a man thing, right? A T, right? You go to HRT company, if you're a man, you need has an overflow of women said, I can get in shape now. And so the incredible rush to that, mostly with Hollywood talking about it and these women getting in shape or getting thinner. I wonder if that is. You guys let me know what you guys think at home. I think great, get your weight off, but don't slack on the other things. I'm glad you got your weight off, but take care of the BPC, TB500. You guys know I love joints and ligaments. Make sure everything else is flowing right. And the sleep, Johnny, this team over here, we're all talking about, especially Serge here, who's working a lot. He's a young kid.
Yep.
He's talking about sleep, and we just put up a video over on IG about sleep recovery, Titan Serenity. Can you talk to us about that and the recovery and the importance of it, and then the added stack besides just Titan Serenity, but to help the IGF?
Yeah. So obviously, when we talk about Titan Serenity is a custom signature Titan blend that has three main components in it. It has L-theanine, has magnesium, and has taurine. And this works on usually two types of sleepers. And the two types of sleepers are in categories like this. There's one type of sleep that can't go to sleep. The wheels just keep moving, right? And then you have the second sleeper who can go to sleep, but sleeps or wakes up in the middle of the night or hour after hour. So one way or the other, you're going to have to get the body into REM sleep, or you want to get the body into REM sleep. And using narcotics or Tylenol PM are a horrible way to do it because you really never get that REM sleep or never go deep. So what can you do? So Titan Serenity is one that will help you, relax you, will help turn the wheels off and help you get into the deep sleep. Magnesium will help distribute more hormones too as well. Taurine will help with more brain function the next day, so you wake up refreshed and ready to go. This is very important, and this is an all natural, category that you can use. Now, one more other option that we can put on the table too now, that because it came back, is DSIP, Delta Sleep Inducing Peptide. This is a precursor to GABA, and GABA is one of the best things you can do as far as deep sleep. So, and we used to be able to we had GABA in the original Titan Serenity blend, but they took it off the compounding list, so we couldn't do that no more. But bringing DSIP back is another game changer for REM sleep. So we have two big options on the table now that you can really get with. And as you're getting older, there might be a third option. And the third option will probably be Epitolon. And this would be good for anybody from 30 above. And we're talking about extending telomeres and actually resetting the circadian rhythm. And the circadian rhythm keeps you on track as far as sleep patterns and stuff like that. So there's some different options on the table, but Titan Serenity has been around and will always be around, and that one's a game changer. But if you really want to start diving into some other peptides, Delta sleep inducing peptides, another good one. I used that one for quite a bit. It got taken away from us, and now it's back. And this will be back now because that's a part of the peptides that RFK was talking about bringing back. So God bless his soul, and God bless anybody that's making that stuff happen as far as these peptides coming back and be able to get compounded, so people can get them from a legit source that has ethics. And at that point, you know what you're getting, and sterility is going to be there, and there's medical monitoring going on, and all these different things. So yeah, those are the ones. And the importance of sleep. Come on, guys. If you've stayed up later than you should, or you've got bad sleep, and you know you've got bad sleep because you had to get up and drink a Red Bull right away when you get up out of bed and continue on that path, then you know that sleep is important, because you probably can't think as good, right? When you have sleep problems, you probably definitely can't recover as good. And when we talk about getting those gains or getting the worth out of your exercise or workouts or whatever your training is, then we know that sleep is an essential part, and not just light sleep, but deep sleep. And it's good to track these things too as well. That we're coming to the age where trackability is everything, and there's more diagnostics and everything, and there's more wearable tech now that's coming out. So if you can, I know Mike, would track his sleep through, one of his wrist things he has. I do it through my bed. Now there's an Aura ring. Apple's going to bring out their own ring. So if you can track all these different things, and then they get compiled into one place, and then now you're looking at your chart and you have all the data in front of you. That's where we're going with things. So get ready, because you're going to be in the driver's seat of your health. And at that point, you'll be able to know what all the numbers are, and actually not just know what the numbers are, but have some explanation of what these numbers mean. Because a lot of people see a lot of data, like their labs or whatever, and they have no idea what the hell it means. You actually, guys, will get some explanation here in the near future. Excuse me.
I like this question because this is I can't say I didn't do this. I did a lot of pizza when I was a young power lifter.
Pizza pump, baby.
Man. I didn't do it prior. I did it after, though. And then we were talking about this last week. Is for me, when I was young, 18, 19, 20. So, but I would do two large pizzas afterwards.
Wow.
Squat day. I was on a push-pull program then when I was powerlifting. So it was a squat and Zeds. Tuesday, Friday. I like pizza. I don't do it anymore, though. That was some young days. Yeah, I don't do that now.
I've never seen you eat pizza yet.
What about
why
you?
Is that?
I can get enough calorie intake without, and I also don't eat to get stronger within the next couple of weeks.
Right.
There's got to be a balance with me. My physique can't go old school off season, so it's got to stay a little bit more clean. So,
gotcha.
And like all of us, when you're bulking up and going off season, it doesn't look the greatest. No. So I try to make it look the best I possibly can with a surplus of calories.
Yeah, understandable. I'll see you a slice or two. I like pizza. I love pizza, guys. Pizza is definitely a good one for me. And and then people probably ask the question next of like, why would you eat it afterwards, Mike, instead of pre? Because there's a lot of people's like, listen, timing's everything. You could probably use that food to fuel the workout. More sodium in there, probably more of a pump factor. And we know obviously after you work out, obviously the meal's there and what that's going to do for recovery and getting those nutrients in the surplus and everything like that. But what would you recommend if somebody had to pick one or the other? I mean, I guess, you think would be a benefit for people to take it before or eat some kind of meal like Five Guys or a burger and fries or whatever?
Not before, because it doesn't matter the meal before, as people think it does. They think, hey, I'm going to eat, and this is in 2 hours is going to load me up for it. It's the food that you had the day before.
Gotcha.
And it's just like, for anybody that can't comprehend that, it's just like when you fill out for a contest. You don't fill out the morning of the contest. You start 3 days before to fill out. And it's the same way with powerlifting. When you're getting ready for the powerlifting meet, you're starting 3 days out. So the reason why I did it afterwards is to see if I can get extra calories in for the recovery to come back around. That's why I would do it. So for you guys out there, remember it's the day before. If you got a squat day the next day, the day before food that's going to help you through that. So just keep that in mind. And I had a great discussion with Phil Heath about that too. It's like people still believe it's something that morning. Yeah, body's amazing. It's amazing. Do it the day before.
Yeah. I remember Bobby Knight used to have the whole IU Hoosiers team eat a big plate of pasta the night before the game. There's a reason for that.
That's how it is.
Here's a good one on IG.
Oh, we got a good one on IG. They're coming through for us.
Yeah. Any advice to support a young boy, my 5-year-old son, into becoming a strong male down the line? I try to be a good example, but I would need advice on the sports part. Single father here.
Oh, I got some great advice now on sports. Let me have this man give that feedback. So, father, 5-year-old son, how can he be a good representative, or how can he bring in sports and make this young boy a strong man? Develop.
So I don't know if you played any sports. I don't know if you did or didn't. If you did, hey, listen, you got some background in it, right? Just get them involved. Make it be fun. I mean, young kids, the littlest, simplest things. I don't know, make them go round, right? Like if you got some kid and you just get a ball, they'll play with that ball all day long, right? And at that point, you want to start getting them involved. So if you didn't play sports, that's okay too. What you want to do at that point is you want to start getting them involved in leagues and have them try all different sports when they're little. When they're younger, obviously, you want them running as much as possible, active as much as possible, not just sitting there in front of a TV or an iPad. And at that point, just get them involved, right? You can find, the local teams around you, whether it's Little League or soccer. I wouldn't do football at that age, but you can do the other ones. I mean, flag football, I think they start at like 6 down here. You could probably do that too as well. There's no hitting involved or anything like that if you're worried about that. Gymnastics might be another way, right? Like when they're young like that. I know some guys, that's what they do with their kids. They get them real flexible. They get them all ready to go like that. And they actually build stabilizing muscles doing some of those different exercises. So it's really what gets his interest. But work a schedule around like doing a couple hours. One thing I can say about Mike and Mona is they've got Titan full scheduled. He does everything. It's a variety of different things, because you want them cultured on these things and used to these different things, or at least you gave it a chance of them trying it and saying no. Don't ever force them to do things, but you got to give a little push to them doing it, because sometimes they might be scared or shy or whatever it is. And you get them involved, and most of the time, kids really, really react in a positive way to sports because it's other kids their age. They're involved with it. They're doing something together, and kids like to do that. So, just get them involved in something, whatever it is. It could be running. It could be anything. But start somewhere and get them cultured in a couple different things and see what they like. And just keep supporting that in the best ways you can possible.
Yep.
If you did a sport, then you've got some background on it, then show them some of your techniques and what you did and how you played. If you don't, that's okay too. There's plenty of sources on the internet where you can find information on what drills to run with your kid if it's a different sport. You can ask different people. I mean, there's so much as far as communication out there to find these different answers for these things. It's super easy to do.
John's just laid out a lot of great stuff. I'll go off the percentages. 70% of kids in sports quit by age 12.
Whoa.
Also, a big factor of this is parents making it too hard, the pressure on it. They talk about fun and fundamental.
Yep.
Keep it fun and fundamental. Now, I'm a father and an athlete, and so that's my fault. I got to make sure that it's just playtime.
Yeah.
So for you as a father, getting him involved, also you have a better chance of him continuing sports. Now, I'll tell you why sports are important after I say, if you have him in multiple sports, less of a chance, again, to burn out. It's usually the one addictive sport that usually the kids get burned out of.
Yeah.
So we're taking the advice from these people that actually study the brain for youth.
Mhm.
Now, the reason why we have him in grappling, martial arts, hand-to-hand combat is because of the nervous system is developed prior to puberty. Muscularity and all that is after puberty or during puberty and after. So we love that aspect of the stimulation to the mind. And your kid is going to, with sports, build confidence. It's confidence and interaction. It's having fun. And one of the biggest things as a father, I recommend this: be 100% cool with him losing, and just go, hey, we're working, we're doing our thing. Is another recommendation to keep them doing sports. And if everybody else going, well, who cares about sports? It's just all factors of life. We want them to be in school to learn and read and write. We want them in sports to be able to interact with humans and understand winning and losing.
Right.
So it's not about the kid being pro down the line. Nothing to do with it. And then talk about that as fathers. There are fathers that are doing sports for their kids solely to be a pro.
Yeah.
And there's great fathers that are doing it to show them work ethic, dedication, win losses, the characters that are developed in sports.
Yep.
I would stay to the right of that and have fun with your kid.
Yep.
So
Sportsmanship, camaraderie. There's so much that you learn from sports. It's ridiculous, and it doesn't come like a teaching lesson. It comes just it just
a
comes.
boy learns better in sports than he does in school. A girl learns better in school than in sports. It's a cool, basic, fundamental kind of. So it's a cool thing. It's a cool thing. It's a great question, man. I'll definitely clip that and put you up there on IG for that question. I appreciate that, being a father.
Yeah.
And I'm learning. I'm in this. I'm learning. So I'm not an expert, but I do at least read a lot. Not so much about the sport aspect, but how the brain functions around sports for kids.
All right. It was 320 pounds 16 months ago, 187 today. You were a huge inspiration with the mindset you put forth, and I took it to heart. Thank you for all the mental help along the way. That is awesome.
Very cool.
Congratulations.
I love that. I'll take that over the guy who goes, hey, I just benched 500. I loved it. Again, for you guys, if you didn't hear, he's down to 187 pounds today, and that's in a year and a half from being dedicated and getting his ass moving and changing his mindset. So down from 320, you're a whole new person,
right?
Oh,
you lost a person.
I'm just sorry if you broke up with your girlfriend during that time, man. Don't blame me on that. You just got too good looking.
Why are you going to the gym?
You look too good.
Yeah.
Get that again. I don't want to lose you.
All right. It says, John, can I cycle Ipamorelin, CJC, and Testosterone, or should I just go completely off both for a month? No, cycling. That's a good plan. If you want to incorporate CJC and Ipamorelin, definitely cycle with Testosterone. You can stay on either or for long extended periods of time. Testosterone's a bigger bad boy and works a lot better than CJC and IPA, but those are really good ones. So if you do want to cycle them, you can. If you want to go on one, you can. But like I said, that's what our patients do. They usually go on these things for like 90 days and then switch to the next. If they're still getting really good results, they might stand for a little bit longer. But with anything else, I would say, switch these up, from time to time. Let the body start, doing it a different way, and you will keep getting results that way too as well. I think it's a great plan.
If you guys didn't hear that, he was just talking about some good IGF, body fat burning, better recovery.
Oh yeah.
Again, this is all over at Titan Medical. So you can just go over to the website, Titan Medical, talk to these guys, talk to their, get your blood work done, right? That's first and foremost. And then see what you need to do. And the question here again was about IGF. And I'm assuming this person already has his number and he knows where his number is at. So it's not just hey, I don't know where my number is. Let me just do everything. Because that wouldn't be smart.
No,
right?
I definitely would recommend people getting blood work beforehand. You don't have to, but I would recommend doing it because you'll know where your IGF-1 is to start. It's your baseline. And then at that point, you want to improve that baseline. You want it to go up. So, you'll have something to work with. You'll always have it on your records. Whatever you're doing, keep your blood work, keep your records, all one file. You'll know exactly what's going on. You'll always be able to tell the tale and the story exactly to a T. Are peptides safe to take? So yes, most peptides I would say are safe to take right off the bat. There are some peptides that you need to find out if there are any contraindications with what you're doing or maybe with some of your health aspect. And the question was just brought to me before we got in the live. Somebody asked me, said, hey, listen, he said, I read something about GLPs and thyroid cancer. Can it happen? Absolutely. But the thing about it is that you have to look at the medical history. If someone has thyroid nodules, they are not a candidate for GLPs at all. Not GLP-1, not 2, not 3. Because if you do that, it could cause cancer. And at that point, that's not something to mess around with. And that's kind of why some of these research chemical sites are going away too, is because they were slinging GLPs without any medical monitoring. I mean, somebody could just go on there, order it. They had no idea what their medical history was. The person that ordered it had no idea there was a contraindication, and boom, they're in a bad situation. The other thing that would be a contraindication would be like pancreatitis, excuse me, with the GLP. But those are the only aspects. Most peptides are pretty safe to take off the bat. If you were saying, well, I'm going to take BPC 157 or TB 500, you're going to be pretty good to go. The GHRHs like testosterone or CDC and ipamorelin, that's something that you should definitely be medical monitored because, the question is this, on your family history or your medical history. Have you had cancer lately, recently, last year, 6 months ago? Has your family had cancer? Mom, dad, brother, who, because we would take this all into consideration about some of these GHRH peptides too as well, because, when we start taking some of these will start increasing cell size and there is no discrimination between cells. So all cells may grow. And if it's a cancer tumor type cell, and that could get bigger. So this is why it's so important for medical monitoring on peptides, because if people are just taking these blindly, they have no idea how they work, what the negative side effect could be, they might be putting themselves in trouble. So with peptides, that's why you come to some place like Type Medical Center that medically monitors. You're getting your peptides from a place that we know what it is, and at that point, there's no problems there, and you'll be feeling great and have the safety aspect covered.
All right, Johnny. I think it's a great one for Titan Medical.
Sure. Tips on spicing up your love life with your lady, if you want to answer that. Of course. Tips on spicing it up. Well, one is are you still raring to go? Does your old lady, well, I shouldn't say old lady, but that's an old term I would say, but is your lady
you shouldn't have said rival. You're just talking naughty right now. Johnny, come on, man. This is a kid's show here, man. This isn't Disney.
So listen, if you're rare and ready to go still, that's great. But if not, you might want to look at your hormone panel, see what's going on there. If your lady is not rare and ready to go, you might want to look at her hormone panel through blood work. But if you're looking for a quick fix for both of you guys, we had some awesome libido enhancing therapies, and PT 141 is right at the top of the pinnacle for both of you guys. At that point, that will turn on the libido effect in the brain for her and you, and will help with erections and blood flow down to the extremities for her for more sensitivity. So that's a short-term spicing it up in the bedroom. At that point, you want to, I don't know if you're talking about role playing or anything on that aspect, but physically and mentally getting ready or raring to go, then we can help you out there for sure. If you're looking for anything else, this is probably not my expertise.
Yeah, we have a Titan member that loved the PT 141. Maybe too much. Maybe too much. And we just said, hey. So
calm down.
Yeah, we told the old Bobo to slow it down a bit, buddy. Come on, leave some of them girls for other people, man. But yeah, PT 141, guys, if you want to spice up, and this is something like Johnny was saying that women can take too. So yeah.
It was actually developed for females. It's got the FDA approval for hyposexual desire disorder for females. They could not achieve orgasms or sexual desire. And it works just the exact same for guys. It turns on that switch in the brain for true libido effect. If you look at like Cialis or Viagra, or, which is sildenafil or tadalafil or any of those things, those are great for blood flow. Those are great for vasodilation, erections, and all that. But they're not good for the drive factor. So you can get an erection as a guy, but still not want to do it. And you got the erection, you're just doing it, right? But if you have the drive, like I want to do this, it gets even better. And I think orgasms will get better too as well if you really want it. If you really don't really want it, you're like, I mean, you get off, you get off. But at that point, if you're really into it, it's gonna be a lot better for you and your partner. It's kind of like a workout. You can go out, you can go in there and do it. But if your mind's into it and you're all into it, it's gonna be a hell of a lot better workout. So you do what you want. Can you stack PT141 with Kisspeptin and make it nasal? I don't know if the pharmacies will do this nasal for me if I compound this together. Maybe, possibly. I don't see this combination too much. PT141 by itself is a game changer, but Kisspeptin is like for gonadal support, if you guys don't know that. So that's another option that somebody could take. It makes their testicles ignite, and at that point will cause a drive factor 2 because of that. Listen, I wouldn't stack them both together if you didn't have to. And if you're going to take them, it's probably going to be different. The reason that I say this is because PT141 is more like it's a maintenance dose type deal. So once you load it, at that point, 2 times a week, you would take it and you're good to go every day. Kisspeptin's more of you have to inject it that day. And it might be a more over time period of that day, maybe 2 to 3 times for it to work to its best potential. But it's different dosing and injecting schedules. So that's the only reason I would say that. Nasal spray, if you're going to use it for nasal spray, you're strictly just using it for, the desire effect, erection effect right before it's time to play. It's not like a maintenance dose injection. So it's a little bit different as far as that goes. What makes your skin so nice? Talking to Mike. So
That's both of us, man. You got good skin.
decent. Decent skin. Listen, this is where I like GHKCU.
BOF. Both us.
Both of us. All right. So
you're
GHKCU is the best. I don't really have a skincare routine at all. Mine's Dial soap, the yellow one. That's what I do.
Irish Spring.
The Irish Spring. That's an old school one too. That's definitely an old school one. But that's it. As far as anything else, though, GHKCU, and then when you take a growth releasing hormone peptide, when your IGF-1 effect goes up, that's going to help with your skin. Both are going to help with elasticity. GHKCU is going to help with collagen. I mean, there's great benefits with GHKCU by itself. And if you pair that with an anti-aging peptide, like a growth releasing hormone peptide, your skin is going to glow. We do have a glow package, and that is another aspect. If you use BPC, which we don't really talk about BPC for the skin, but it's great for the skin too. I mean, so with BPC, TB500, and then KPV, and then GHKCU all in one blend, our glow blend, that's another good one for skin too. And, recently we just came out with a topical GHKCU. She's been using it on her face. A couple of other girls, patients have been using it, and they are loving it. So this is another one that we're going to be adding in for skincare for, patients, for guys and girls. It doesn't just work for girls like that. It works for guys. So if you're looking for something to add in your regimen, or you want something to help or start a regimen, then we can definitely help you out with that. And think about this. If you use an injectable and a topical, you're hitting it 2 different ways. And it's really great for that. If you have isolation points, like let's say on your face or your arms or your body in some area, you can topically put that on, and you can inject it too as well. So you're going to be hit it from both aspects, which is great.
I like that. The only thing I could add is that I was one of those young kids that listened to my mom, and I'm Scottish Irish Viking, so I put sunblock on. Always have since a young lad. So I am not a fan of the sun.
Oh man.
But yeah, Johnny's got me on a great regimen for my skincare.
Can you tell the people a little bit about that therapy of the week?
Motsy?
Yeah, lay that out.
Sure.
I gave him the graphic keys.
So Motsy is you see Mike holding that there, that box of Titan Blood. Might see, like I said, they say it's exercise in a bottle, but it has so many other different effects. So we can talk about raising the metabolic effect, helping the metabolism burn more, which is going to absolutely help you out with fat loss. But we can talk about insulin sensitivity too, where it does help in that factor as well. So you're not just getting weight loss effect, you're getting a metabolic push, and this is like igniting the mitochondria in your body too as well. So when we use it for for weight loss. You can use it for, like I said, insulin sensitivity in the body. There's some other things that they said there's some big benefits, but those are the big benefits. When you're exercising, this is going to even raise up the metabolic effect even more. But think about sitting at your desk with your metabolic rate raised to maybe an exercise rate. Just sitting there, your body's just burning. So, I mean, MOTS-c is a great all-natural one. Mitochondria, it's a big thing, and I think that's going to be the next wave out there is mitochondria and mitochondrial drugs.
I think here's another great one.
I used to weigh 296 in August to 199 now. Wow. And now I have a high protein, low carb, moderate fat diet. Still going in the right direction. What do you do to continue momentum? Well, it sounds like what you're doing is working right now, but if you want to add in some different things like some peptides and stuff like that, you can really expedite those results probably a little bit even more.
Yeah, the one he was just talking about, MOTS-c is going to even help more.
MOTS-c.
I would do
Titan Transformation Package that has MOTS-c, AOD, testosterone, and ipamorelin. That is my favorite blend across the board. So many different benefits all in one little injection. So if you guys are looking for the real true deal, that one it's got everything you're looking for. It will help you lose weight, burn more fat as far as the metabolism raising, hit visceral belly fat with testosterone, raise growth hormone levels and IGF-1 levels, helping with recovery, elasticity of the skin, anti-aging effects. I mean, it's really the real deal.
Here's something outside of that. And this is anybody here, this could help anybody. So the person here went from 300 down to 200. It's great. That's freaking great. And you can do some peptides to help continue. But don't lose sight on what he talked about nutrition-wise.
Right.
So it's high protein, low carbs, and moderate fat. Okay.
Right.
That's a change itself. So even though he lost 100, stay with me for a second here. Maybe there should be a portion of time right now that you take 3 to 4 months to just get the nutrition at a healthier stage for you while trying to maintain that 200. Instead of going, I just got to make that body weight go. People lose track of it's all aspects, right? Because I would like you to get your body used to carbohydrates again without the rebound that everybody does. And so just don't lose thought of that situation too. Maybe moving forward isn't body weight droppage, but it's higher calories with some good carbohydrates to help heal the body for a period of time, and then go back to the weight drop. Because this is, again, for me, being on a deficit of low carbs your entire life is a tough thing. I don't meet many people that are just consistent for 3 to 4 months. So I'm just talking to you as a person going, hey, I'd like you to be able to be healthy, thin, athletic in 30 years. Okay, so just keep that in mind. That might be a little idea outside of the box. I like that one, Jeffrey. That's helping them. Just there's other ways to do this. And this will bring me full circle before we leave today. I put up a post of a sports mom talking about her son playing college baseball and all of her friends, and she even asked herself this, well, why? What's the point of this? It's stupid. He's not going pro. So what's the point of him doing baseball? And then there was moments, and I understand this, I'd love my kid to go pro. Great. But there's moments that the kid had with his uncles from childhood all the way up to college ball. And those moments of family together watching them play. And the mother said, maybe that was the pro for us.
Yep.
So fitness is awesome and fitness is great and fitness can actually open up other doors that you don't see. And the reason why I said about the mother is because it's that pro. If you're going to do sports, you got to go pro. If you're an attorney, you're going to be the best attorney and maybe there's things you can enjoy while you're doing this, even if this isn't the future for you. So that's what I want for this person here that got in shape. Enjoy it, slow it down, enjoy some food with it. And so you can turn this into something longer and better for you. And for you parents out there, enjoy those moments. You're developing some strong characters. John here has a son that is an absolute mental savage, not just a physical savage. So, Johnny, come on, give me a closer for today.
Closer? Question wise? What we got?
You, just life-wise.
Oh, life wise?
Just anything you want to say to the people.
Tomorrow's never promised. Right? At that point, you do what you got to do every single day. Wake up with a purpose, stay focused.
Right.
Whatever it is, whether you're trying to gain muscle, you're trying to do better at your job, whatever it is. But know this: healthy body is a healthy mind. Your health should be your number one investment. I say this all the time because without your health, you have nothing. And when you're at optimal health, you do a lot more and are able to do a lot more. So kind of focus in on yourself to a certain degree, because if you're that person like us and we're taking care of everybody, if we don't have ourselves, we can't take care of everybody else. So at that point, I would definitely recommend for people out there, to one, take their health very seriously and to make sure they're getting themselves back into it. And there's not a certain age to start or stop. At that point, you just keep going. And if you do this, you're more than likely going to be very successful and you're going to have a better life all the way through and through. That's just from me to you guys. I mean, it just is what it is. Health is something that some people can't buy. You have the richest people in the world, and at that point, they still can't get their health back in some circumstances. So do what you got to do. Start now and be the better version of yourself.
I don't know if you guys noticed this over there, Andreas or John or Serge. Serge probably noticed this. There's just something you said is like even the most rich people are fighting to get that time and be healthy. And I look at these, I'm around these very wealthy, and I'm like, you have completely missed a huge portion of life. I get it that you're a billionaire, but you're a slob. It's like you missed an incredible part of life where I see health truly is wealth.
Mm-hmm.
And then go from there. Yeah,
truly, man. I mean, I don't know. The more that I go, it's just more the writing on the wall, And I tell the guys because I got a lot of friends that are very, very well off, and that's the same thing I tell them. Like, how the hell are you so disciplined in business, but you're not even disciplined with the one thing that God gave you, the one thing that takes care of you every single day, and not in reverse. So I tell them, I'm like, you can't have the multi-million-dollar house and the $1 million car without the $1 million body. And if you do, you're on borrowed time, or at that point, you're looking for love, or in that aspect, you think girls are really going to be coming after you because of your body? No, they're going to be coming after you because the money. So if you're good to live with that, that's fine. But I'll tell you this much: you have the better body and all that, and the health, you got a lot more options on the table there through and through. And even the most, I don't know, broke ass guy on the street, as long as he got the looks and the body, he could probably pull more women than you without any money. Okay? Because I've been there. I'm sure Mike's been there.
Side piece for the billionaire.
Right?
The billionaire's girl's going over to him. I don't know about you, but I never grew up going, hey, I want to be a multi-millionaire, have a huge house, yacht, plane, but I want to be a fat slob when I get it. It's like broken. It's like, I kind of had the vision of I wanted to be in shape and have that.
Right.
That's
I
how
always
that
wanted to be the machine, the action hero that at least had the body, and I knew if I had the body, anything else could come. So that's the thing I would tell everybody: like, get your health in check. Especially now, there's no excuse. Even if you're overweight and you don't even want to work out, you could probably take a GLP-3 and probably lose a ton of weight and probably get in better shape.
Here we go.
All right. When it comes to Titan's diet, does he ever ask for McDonald's or Burger King or other fast foods his friends eat? And if so, do you let him have it now and then? I know the
I
answer to
agree.
this.
I wish I said this earlier to the gentleman that asked about his child, or anybody out there with a kid. We're setting up habits. If you're not understanding what we're doing with the nutrition or the training or the schedule, like Johnny talked about the schedule, Titan has a schedule every day, and he gets up in the morning going, "Hey, mom, today is I'm going to work out with dad. I'm going to go to school. I'm going to come home. I'm going to play piano, eat my meal, go to jujitsu, and then after that, taekwondo." And he talks about this. It's cool that he talks about the thing, but what he's doing is he's developed the habit, and this has to go with the food. The food has become a habit that he knows he's eating every 2 hours. And my toxic self put down information that goes with food with him. Why are you eating this? Why are you eating the hamburger? Dad, because this hamburger is going to give me big biceps. Do you want some cake? Your birthday cake? Do you want your birthday? No, that's for fat people. I was like, okay, I'm all right. You saying that, kid?
Yeah.
So I correlated the two. And so kids are so not gullible. What's the word when it's like, if they see somebody else eating it, they should have it. Impressionable. So what is great about what I did with him is I've made him relate why he's eating the foods and what it does. And so when we hang out with Pink Box Donuts, Siegel's family, and I go, do it, push it, you need a donut. And he's like, no, I don't want that. I don't want that. So he doesn't do the typical kid stuff where because they're eating a pizza, they're eating a McDonald's. He doesn't go to that stuff. We've created this habit with him where he understands foods have a response to the body and the visual look of what happens. I will get stronger. I will get healthier. If I do this, this, and this, I will get fatter and weaker and lose if I do this, this, and this.
See, that's the difference though, Mike. See, you're educated, Mo is educated. You guys got your child on the schedule. He's eating correctly. He's doing what he needs to do. A lot of people, they can't give the education factor to their kids why they shouldn't be eating it. Or I don't know, they just don't care at that point. I don't really know. I mean, that's one thing that it just, that you see every single day, whether maybe it's a single parent and they can't cook, so they just go and get them fast food. I was just like that. So like when I was growing up, my mom and dad, like my mom would cook me for every so often it'd be steak, potato, and all that, but it would be fast food because at that point she picked me up from school, wherever it was, and that would be the easiest thing to get. But at that point, as I got older and I learned more about nutrition and how the body works and everything like that, you're like, oh man, like this is wrong. This is really wrong. And you want the best for your kids, or you should, and the best for you. So I mean, don't just be gullible or ignorant, because that's ignorant, right? You're just uneducated about what you're doing. You're just going to keep doing it. Be smart about things. And if you don't know, there's plenty of education out there, and you can definitely see, like just by, I don't know if you got to see it. So they've had this fast foods war going on, and they become memes now. McDonald's CEO, Burger King CEO, Wendy's got involved, and it was because the CEO of McDonald's had the big new burger, and it looked like he didn't even want to take a bite of it. And he got slammed. And then he tried to do a follow-up video, and then it looked even worse. Like they edited it out, and he had a tissue, like he was spitting it out, right? He did a fry, he bit half of it, and it went black. So, if you can't back it, like, but you can see, like, these guys have knowledge on these products that we don't even have knowledge of, right? And they probably know, like, hey, this is really bad, and I don't really want to eat this. So, you just you do that. Listen, food sources are key. So, feed yourself. This is another thing I will tell, like, a rich guy that had a supercar, or even if you had a Corvette or something like that, you're going to fill it up with premium gas because you want that vehicle to perform the best, and it calls for that. But you won't give that to your own body for fuel. Why? Why does it make sense for you to do it to the car and not to do it to yourself? It makes no sense whatsoever for anybody out there. And I'm not telling you that you got to be 24/7 perfect on what you're eating. But if you're eating perfect or good, I would say 80 to 85% of the time, then that piece of cake on your birthday, or maybe if you want to have a drink out one night or do whatever you want, then that could be in the plan. But if it's the reverse factor and it's 85% of all the garbage and 15% of okay, you're not going to be on a good path and you're not going to be getting good results and you're probably going to look like shit. And it might not be when you're a kid because when you're a kid, it just burns through. And that doesn't even stand true nowadays because most kids are obese.
Yeah.
You look in classrooms and man, it's not like it used to when we went to school. When we went to school, I would have maybe one fat person in my class, and everybody would pick on the fat person, right? But
And
now
it'd
it's
be very
reverse.
fat. Wouldn't even be really fat.
No,
Now
wouldn't you be really fat?
I just saw something, and everybody here do this. Go do a search on your chat GBT or whatever it is
Yep.
of the world's fattest man, and I think it was in the 1900s. I think it was like 280 pounds or something.
Yep.
It wasn't like it was, and that was the odd out.
Yeah. Wow.
And now it's such a. The reason why I say this is because John was talking about food. I'm hitting this even harder. I'm talking about what does the food do to you,
Right.
and the habit with eating. Because what we've done now is it is a drug. We know that, right? The food's the hardest thing. They talk about percentages. Do again. You can go to the research. The hardest drug to control is food. It's wild when you think of it that way.
Super addictive properties.
So it's the mindset. Why are you eating? What are the snacks? What is that really doing? Are you eating because you're feeding the body, or are you eating because you're bored, or you're upset, or somebody yelled at you, or you're not in a safe place? Teach them the habits. You guys got this. You got this. Your parents. Start teaching them that kind of stuff. And also stop with the sugar for kids. There's a chance that you're probably closing in on diabetic and you're automatically doing it to your 5-year-old. Stop that shit.
Yeah.
That's just,
Agree.
that's,
I
that's,
agree, man.
now you're just being lazy.
So RFK, he brought up like he wanted to talk to Dunkin' Donuts and stuff like that because he wanted them to prove that some of their drinks that they're coming out with are actually safe for the public. And the governor of Massachusetts, whoever it was, come try to take it. And he's like, well, I'm not trying to take your Dunkin', but he's like, if you think it's safe or responsible for one drink to have 180 grams of sugar in it,
Right.
one drink, one drink, guys,
Great.
that's irresponsible. It's irresponsible. And people really don't think about it. It's like, oh, it tastes good. It's so sugary. Yeah. And they get a little energy, sugar kick. But man, you are setting yourself up. If you really look at how much sugar you're supposed to intake per day, most of you guys would be triple the amount of that sugar, if not more.
Johnny, thanks for hanging today.
Appreciate it, man. Good as always.
Johnny and me are so in sync with create the habits. If you can optimize your body and make it better, that's what Titan Medical is about. We don't care if you're trying to be Mr. Universe or anything like that. We want you to be just a good, strong person, have a long life, and show some of that discipline to the family members and everybody around you, and be that leader in the family.
Yeah, it starts with you guys, especially if you're a dad. You are the example to your son, even to your daughter. Daddy's good little girls, right? You're the example. So start with yourself. Be the example, and don't be like, do as I say, not as I do. No.
I identify as the mother, though. How's that work? You guys go have a good day. Andreas, thank you, my friend.
Later, guys.
Bye, guys.
Guys.
Not yet. IG, come on.
You
Come
got
on.
IG?
Come on. Give me something, IG. What do you guys got? Hey, Facebook, YouTube, all of you crazies. Again, any questions you have for me, Titan Medical, or anything like that, put them down below. We'll also pin Titan Medical to the top of the feed here for you guys. If you want to get a hold of them, do your blood work. Get on over there, rock and roll, make that happen, all right? You guys like my Diet Coke? What's your questions?
That's safe to drink.
And my Michael Hearn lifestyle shirt. If you can guess what the 73 is a representation to, I will send the shirt out to you ASAP. IG, what do you got? Crack-a-lack.